hearing, contemplate, and meditations. Any Dharma activity we do. So those are Dharma activity, okay? Hearing, contemplate, and meditation. So those are mainly Dharma practice, 3 Dharma practice. So whatever we do sake of their benefit of them, those sentient beings. That is what is bodhicitta means. So like today I'm going to receive this instruction, Bardo instruction. So that way I know how to practice the Dharma to help myself. Also, I can help those sentient beings who are unfortunate to have chance to meeting with the Dharma, have chance to practicing Dharma. So I think this is how we can generate the bodhicitta. So that thought of that bodhicitta, then we should engage in the Dharma, hearing, contemplating, meditation. From my side, I always say when I'm teaching, I always think as a, this will some point, this will benefit some sentient beings, and yourself also receive the teaching to benefit of thought of a benefit of sentient beings, not just only, oh, I want to learn, I want to become knowledgeable to the Dharma. So that is not good what called motivation. It's called the kutopsuneba. It means that kind of a thought of stealing. You want to take something from someone for your sake. Then you are like pretty much is similarly thief. So in the Tibetan, it's called the kutopsuneba. Mean that you not have a devotion, you don't have a altruistic motivation, you don't have a appreciations. Only you just want to take what you can. So that is a really bad what called the motivation. So that way we should receive teachings, we should practice Dharma based on the motivation of the bodhicitta. Then whatever we do, it become a pure. If we practice Dharma with the self-center, we receive teaching with the only self-care, then there's the involvement of the negative emotion. So it never become pure Dharma practice. It's become a kind of a worldly concern, which is the actually long-termly cause to reborn in the deeper in the samsara. So that reason we must receive the teachings, or whatever we do, Dharma activity, we should do with the altruistic motivation of a bodhicitta. Today, our subject is a Bardo prayer wrote by Second Holiness Gyalwang called the Kunga Peljor. And this is a road based on the Gyalway teachings. Is called the Sepo, which is the mixing and transparence, and also called the Dagini's hearing lineage. So based on those main teachings and explain this Bardo. So some of those teachings in some of here, basically this Bardo prayer instruction is a person who already have a good experience of the practicing. So that one, but also other people I think can use. So we can go here through. Now the Bardo in this prayer, they divide it into 3. Called the Dharma, Bardo of the dying as a Dharmakaya, Bardo of the existent or intermediate Bardo, which is the union of Sambhogakaya, and Bardo of the becoming as a Nirvana Kaya. So right now we're talking about the second one. Second one is actually, is it this one now? as it's here said after 4.5 days. Actually, this is a 3.5 days. As a half and 4 days. Half and 4 days is better because including half 4 days. You know, if half day is include, it become a 4 days. So not 4.5 days. That is a mistake translation. Because what is Bardo is also Bardo itself is divided into 2 pieces. One is divided into the 49 days divided into the 2 as a 3.5 week. Each one 3.5 weeks is a 2 chedashi. It means the 3 weeks and a half. So that is like 4 weeks. Or each week have called the smaller death. It's not really dying. It's just kind of like becoming concussion or what called that, like kind of losing, you know, coma, kind of like becoming a coma shock in the middle every week. It's not really dying because why it's not really dying because they not have intermediate state. Because if dying, even there is intermediate state. So between the week, there's no intermediate state. So it's not really dying, but it's named as a small death. So that coma is kind of concussion, it's a small death. So that is every 7 days is happen. So that is 7 days of the week is a dividing half is becoming 3.5 days. So that way 3.5 days, this one, after the 3.5 days, when aware to relying being dead, now finally are relying on the, because the last 3.5 days, special 3 days, is this like a totally unconscious, and the second day is like a totally drunk, third day is like a really bad sick, kind of that kind of you know, mindset is become like that. So that reason not really aware, but after the 3.5 days, then they finally aware of the Bardo being say, oh, now I'm dead, and we become overwhelmed with the despair and seek refuge. So then finally, when we're recognizing, oh, I'm dead, then of course anyone, you know, really now what called despaired. Now, so try to find the refuge. So then people who are devoted to the Dharma, people who are praying every day for the Dharma, at that time, you will pray, whatever you do, prayer every day, especially when your life, anytime you have a problem, you know, if you rely on the 3 jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, at that time, you will pray to the 3 jewels. Right now, every time when we have a problem, we rely on something else, like local deities. Then it's not really authentic refuge because they cannot protect you from that fears. So then mistake. So if this life, if you only worship into the local deities, you know, because you want to be successful business or something that is, you know, temporarily successful, and you only worship into the local deity, then at the Bardo, when you have a fears, you will worship them, you will pray them. And what they do, they cannot do anything because they themselves is suffering. They cannot protect you from the suffering. They cannot give you the liberation from the fears, you know, sadness. Then there's nothing can do, because at that time they can give you wealth or success. Any of those are not going to help you. So that reason in this life now on, we have to prepare that one. How to prepare that one is whenever we have any kind of issue, especially issue that relate to the problem, always try to pray to the 3 jewels. Always try to pray to your deities. Rely on them. Then, when you go to sleep, if you have a nightmare and you have a problem, and you will asking to the deity or something, you will do that is exactly same as in the Bardo. Make sense? So that way, then we can seek the truly protector. What is the truly protector? Is it like a 3 jewels or deity like Genesi, Aulokeshwara, Tara, or any of those deities? Then they can actually protect, or your guru. Now here, even your guru is not personally, that guru is not really capable to come to protect you from the fear, from that intermediate state. But if you really truly seek your guru as a Buddha and you rely on that guru, then one Buddha and Bodhisattva form of your guru come to the Bardo to help you, protect you. So that way, when you seek, rely on the guru, when you rely on the deity, when you rely on the 3 jewels, at that time, then you will seek the protector, seek a refuge. So, of course, that is just ordinary people, but practitioner who especially have a high level of practice like Six Yugam, Naropa, Mahamudra, and they ultimate refuge. What is the ultimate refuge? Is it grant us the grace to know that take refuge in the self-cognition, self-awareness, self. That is the true Buddha, really called the inner Buddha. That inner Buddha is a truly protector. So in the if you look on the Uttara Tantra, Midriya said, ultimately only there's one refuge, that's the Dharmakaya. So that Dharmakaya is the self-recognition, that's the inner Buddha, called the self-awareness, So that is the ultimate refuge. Because Dharma is not ultimate refuge, Sangha is not ultimate refuge, Buddha is the ultimate refuge. Buddha also not the Nirmana Kaya, Sambhoga Kaya, Dharma Kaya is the ultimate refuge. So that way, that is talking about your own awareness, which is the Buddha of the Dharma Kaya, inner Buddha. So this is for the practitioner. Somebody have a really, received like a Mahamudra and or those other high teachings and have great experience. At that time, right now in life, you receive those teachings, you practice. In the Bardo, you don't need practice. Long as you remember, you will liberate it. It's called the Bardo Loche. Lo means the mind, che means the cut. So what cutting is, once you remember that whatever teachings, immediately it become, realization without the practice. Right now, we not just only remember, we have to practice hard. It's not same. Bardo mind is much sharper. So the reason, as long as you remember in the Bardo, all those teaching what you receive now, and it will really, without the meditation, without the effort, you will liberate it. So this life, don't worry too much. You're not having any accomplishment from your Dharma practice. Just do continually, much as you can. Receive teachings, practice as much as you can. So once you do that one, and in the Bardo, if you remember all those teachings and practice like a Mahamudra and Six Yogam Naropa and those things, then you don't need to put effort to accomplishing, because the Bardo state is one of the really, it's called the sharp mind, also it's a really quick liberated. So that way is called the Bardo Loche. So there, long as you remember, recollecting, you remember that teaching, it will liberate without the practice. So I don't know, this is maybe I should say or not, but this is my own thought, okay? You don't have to believe me. But we said people become ghosts, yeah? I think the ghost story is everywhere in the West, and there are lots of ghost story, yeah? But most of Western ghost story is people who died with a tragedy. Somebody dead, really horribly dead. Those, because at that time, a strong emotion, they stuck there, ghosts. But in Asia, there's no need to tragedy to become a ghost. There are so many ghosts. I think this is my own thought, because lots of Asian, we worship lots of spirit. Local spirit or whatever spirit, there are lots of, including Dharma protectors. So I think that is lots of is causing to reborn in the ghosts. So you have to be careful on that, too much worshiping on the spirit, including the Dharma protector. I mean, like if you look this way in the Tikunkaji, if somebody asks to who is the Jidin Sumgun, I think lots of people don't know who is the Lord Jidin Sumgun. Even they know Jidin Sumgun, they don't know that much about him. But if somebody asks to the Achi, everybody knows Achi. You may say, oh, that's, it's also okay to remember Achi, practicing Achi. She is a Vajrayogini, she is a Tara and this and that. That is true. Achi is a Tara, Achi is a Vajrayogini, Achi is a Panchanaparamita, inseparable. But since Achi is Dharma protector have lots of retinues. Okay? And all of those retinue are not enlightened beings. There are a lot of those retinue are worldly beings, worldly spirit. And when you die, if you become so close with them, they may keep you as a, their own retinue, because this is retinue actually have a retinue have retinue. This, spirit realm, more they have a retinue, they become more powerful. So maybe that's my guessing, So I think beings who become a spirit, or a spirit kind of like conscious stuck there many years. So it's a two way to become. Someone who have a really tragedy death, then they can become a spirit. And someone who are too much involved with spirit when they're alive, including the puja, so they can have also good chance to reborn in the there. So then that is it, they take a wrong refuge, So you have to take refuge as a guru, you have to take refuge as a deity, and particularly you have to rely on the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Once you rely on the three jewels, definitely you will not going to be deceived. Definitely you're not going to waste your reliable. They are truly reliable. Because worldly beings like spirit, they are not really truly reliable. Why? Because they don't have that power can liberate you from the miserable suffering. But the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, they have a fully, ability to liberate you from that. So I think this is my own thought. Okay, I may be wrong. So I always told my mom when she was alive, because she really liked that our oracle, local spirit. I also told her many times, this is true. I said, don't be too close with that kind of spirit. They are local deity, and if you become too close, they have a good chance they will keep you. They are retinue. So yes, we need to rely them like they are like our contactor, people who come to work for you. Then you have to pay them by offering food, yeah, contact. So you have to pay them by offering, and you have to request them by remove your obstacles. But why you need to protect you is protecting from falling part from the Dharma. So if you're not practicing Dharma, you're just only worshiping the spirit, then you have no chance to liberation. And in the Bardo, you will take refuge to them, and you get in worse place, actually. So I think there's have to be careful. Okay, so for the Bardo, main practice of the Bardo is second Bardo. As a first receiving the instruction, you have to know you have you have to know that your diet. So that reason, after the knowing of the after the 3.5 day, when you know the death, then the second actually dharma, instruction of the Bardo is this second one is called. It said when the Bardo is understood as a being in the Bardo, visualizing our body as a yidam and meditating on the clarity, where we then meditate on the of those two union, grant us to grace to be pure illusory body arise. So this is mean that now person who, especially Vajrayana practitioner, in this life, you're practicing the deity, whatever your principal deity. Many people like Tara or Cheresi, or doesn't matter. You don't need to, choosing which deity is better, because all the enlightened beings are equal. It means that when you get to the space, there's no good space, bad space, just space. Have every area space is the same quality. Even like a poor country space and a really rich country space, space is space. No one can distinguishing. So same way, deity manifests a lot of different form. Okay, some are white color, some are black color, some are yellow, some are red, and some are short, some are tall, some are fat, some are skinny, and some have a many arms, some have only two, some have only one eye, some have many eyes. Doesn't matter what kind of manifestation they comes, but their nature is the same, which is their inner what called the Yixilong. Yixilong means the inner nature of wisdom. It's the same. Their nature of wisdom is the same. So it doesn't matter which deity you do, but when you do one particular deity, just do continually. So once you do that continually, and in the immediate state, when you reach to the Bardo, and then at that time, first said, once you recognize the Bardo, just said visualizing our body as a yidam. It means that our body is called the impure illusion body, because it is a conceptual, it is a gross, it is a built by elements. But then pure illusion body as the deity, which is the if you remember, I think I talked a while ago, a characteristic of the deity. One is called the empty by nature. So the empty by nature being the illusory body. That is a pure illusory body. It manifests, but not really like a solid like us, flesh or anything. So it's just called the illusory body. So that's the yidam deity, and then meditating on the clarity. So after this is called the generation stage, or the yidams. Our visualizing our body as a yidam is a generation stage. So when we practice in the deity yoga, we have to do with the characteristics, clarity, purity, divine pride, and divine pride, empty nature, united or inseparable. So those characteristic, with those characteristic, we have to meditate on the deities. So that is what it means, the transforming to the deity of the yidam deity. Whatever our body is immediately transformed to the deity. Then meditating on the clarity. Meditating on the clarity is a dissolution. There's a called the jishi and rilzing. Jishi means the just after deity, visualizing deity, then you dissolution. It's a step by step. There's two step-by-step dissolution. Is a everything is dissolved to the mandala. The mandala dissolved to you. After that dissolution, after that, so Jekshi means then yourself as a deity as a dissolve on the empty nature. That is a one-way dissolution. And another one is a rilzin mean entirely dissolutions, which is mean the after your generation stage and after you recite the mantra, entire mandala is melt to the light and dissolve on the emptiness. So there's a two different way, but all those called the meditating on the clarity. Clarity means that dissolution, luminosity, empty nature. So that is a in the Vajrayana we use as a completion stage. Okay, that one. May we be meditating on those two unions. Again, become yourself as a deity, but that deity is a union of appearance as an emptiness. So that way, the two in union mean the appearance as a form of the deity, but without the moving away from the luminosity or clarity of empty nature. So appearing and empty, those two union. So this is called the Bardo Sungju Lungu. It means the intermediate state union of Sambhogakaya. What is the Sungju or union mean? United mean the appearance and emptiness. Or you can say generation stage and the completion stage are inseparable. Okay, so that then there is a way to you can liberate it. So grant us a grace to be pure illusory body arise. So that is a pure illusory body. How to pure illusory body arising is it? And after reaching to the Dharmakaya, then manifest as a Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya. Okay, so someone who have that times, this two union, then they reach to the Sambhogakaya. So then after that, the rest of the teaching on the Bardo experience no longer exists, those practitioners. So this is like a first one, we talk about the Dharmakaya Bardo. If you really directly recognizing that Dharmakaya Bardo, then you don't have a Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya Bardo. Rest is no longer need. But if you couldn't recognize it as the dying as a Dharmakaya, then Bardo as an intermediate Bardo as a union of the Sambhogakaya there. So we already talk. But from there too, you're not recognizing, or your practice is not strong enough to recognizing that one as a union of the Sambhogakaya, then you go to further. So further is it, then you have this experience. This is now actually start the third Bardo. From here, then third Bardo. Third Bardo's name is basically called taking birth as a path to attain the emanation body or Nirmanakaya Bardo. So what happened is in the Bardo, they said, when the crash of the collapsing mountain, raging ocean, blazing forest, apoplectic hurricane, it's not apoplectic hurricane. It's just like it's more like I may have English here somewhere. Page 200. This is called the wind at the end of the time. So that's not more than hurricane. Actually, there's end of the Gyalpa wind completely destroyed the whole universe. So that is a wind of the Dutelungchi. So
it's the word is apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Which basically means the end of the world.
Okay. Then apocalyptic hurricane. Okay, then that's good. So those wind are 1,000 simultaneous thunderclaps terrify us. So this is called the earth wind, water wind, fire wind, and wind. You know, so and so those also called the element wind. So because of those element movement or whatever is have to have a wind support, I think, you know, like a earthquake need air support. What hurricane need wind, you know, fire need wind. Then wind, of course, need. So this is called the wind of the elements. So those wind of the element in the Bardo is much, much louder. Right now, we cannot hear that strong sound. But in the Bardo, like those wind of the fire, earth, you know, water and wind, they are like a 1,000 thunder dragon, 1,000 thunder making noisy together. So this so loud at that time. So and when you're hearing this one, then you have to know as a grain as to grace to know the sound of ultimate reality. This is a sound of ultimate reality. Mean ultimate reality is what is the ultimate reality? Is called the illusory sound. So we always said in the Vajrayana, there's three Vajras: Vajra body, Vajra speech, Vajra mind. So this is the Vajra speech, which is the every sound you have to see as a mantra, which is a union of empty and sound. So that is what is mean the ultimately reality. Sound of ultimately reality. You know, so so that is mean the sound as a union of appearance, I mean sound and emptiness, which is the what we said Vajra speech. So if right now we have that experience of try to every sound as I try to see as a mantra, which is the union of the emptiness and sound, then you can see this at the Bardo, all those loud sound, all those scary experience of the, you know, terrifying sound become, you know, illusory sound of a deity's mantra. So that reason we have to try to see now every sound as a mantra. Make sense? So that then in the Bardo can do this one. So I think when we, like somebody died, when we do prayer, whatever prayer, I mean, they can hear the prayer, they can sense the prayer. I think that's really helpful for them. But giving Bardo instruction will liberate? No, I don't think so. And also we have, there's called the, you know, like a liberation blanket. By just putting that liberation blanket on the body, liberate? I don't think so. But it will help some. You know, it not entirely work as it said, but it will help some degree of connect to, you know, some kind of a comfort zone they give. So including our prayer, liberation blanket, whatever we're using, it help them. So of course you can give the Bardo instruction if they have the Bardo teaching, if they have experience of a Bardo, then yes, it helps. And also when we do the prayer, I heard this one is someone now I don't remember, I think maybe Potu Rinpoche or someone said, when we do the prayer to the dead one, just do sincerely from the bottom of your heart. Any prayer, it work. Because as long as your heart warmly, really care with care, do prayer, any prayer is, I think, work. And also Bardo beings, even you don't know, actually recognize it as a sounds, as a emptiness. When you when you practicing now, when living time, before the death, as I really rely on the three jewels. In the Bardo, when you have that kind of fearsome sound, you will immediately pray to the three jewels, or your particular deity, or your guru, and it will protect you, not go to wrong direction from that fear. Because normally our habit is when we have that kind of fears, we run away. So in the Bardo, when you try to run away, you may end up with a wrong, rebirth, wrong place to rebirth. So that reason, how to protect you is just whenever you hearing this kind of sound, and take a refuge, pray to the deity or supplicate to the guru. I think that will really help. Okay, so some teaching said at this time when that kind of sound and appearance as a 58 wrathful, but some said actually ordinary people, they not see as a deity, they just fearsome. So that way, not necessarily everyone see, Bardo deity, 100 peaceful and wrathful, yeah. So this thunderstorm of the fearsome at that time, actually, those some can see. I think have some practitioner, some degree of practitioner maybe see, but I'm not sure everyone see or not. But then second one is or they said when dazzling light of the five color agitate us, and from ray, spear, and dove light of the light, rising hordes of the wrathful beings claiming, kill, slaughter, grant us to grace to recognizing our own projection as the deity. So this is, I think, together. So when those light said, when dazzling light of 5 colors, normally there's 5 colors, they show blue, dark, white, yellow, red. And there's no green, because the Bardo being, that one is not accomplishing the practice, so that way not have the green as a light of the activities. Because until you have fully accomplishing, you cannot perform the activities. So first you have to accomplish. It's called the approaching. That is called the approaching. Once you approaching, then you perform the accomplishment as a performing as a activities. So right now you recite the Dambala mantra, you never become rich. You recite the medicine Buddha mantra, it's not necessarily going to heal you. Yeah, you recite those old mantra, the great benefit explain, it's not going to show, it's not going to experience. Why? Because you're not yet approached. Until you not yet approach, and cannot perform the activity. So that way, this in this place in the Bardo, they're not accomplishing. That way they don't have the green light. So in this 5 color light, they normally said 5 as a black, blue, white, yellow, red. So so those, and they have this is the light is like a tent, totally not. So it's that way said drizzling light. And I here said actually agitated. Color agitate us. This is a, I think, mistake translation. I try to do this one. So the tuk is a, sometimes people may translate as an agitate, but tuk means also like a knot. You know, we make the wool fabric cloth also tuk. So it means that kind of make like a, what call this? Like kind of put together, becoming fit, you know. So it's like a, no, not, it's each other crossing, not crossing, not. I don't know how to say in English. So many color like a crossing each other like this, like tent, but it's a crossing over each other.
You mean woven? If you weave threads?
Okay, so I never heard that one, so I don't know.
Where you got the lines going down and you got the thread going in between.
Yeah, so something like that. It's a, so that way it's not agitate us. It's a mistake translation. This is more like a kind of like a what call this English word? Binding, or English word, other ones as a like cross each other.
Yeah, that would be woven.
Woven, okay. So that is a 5-color light. Then and also from a ray, spear, and doublet of light. So those different type of light. So this is a first one is a like a 5-color, like a rainbow tent. And second one is a yeah. Okay, so ray spray is like a tent, and drop of light is a something like a bean size of light. So I think different type of light is explained here. So those are light appearance. So that time, then you have a fearsome of you know, deity or this and that. And some there's a one commentary on the Nyingma teaching. They saying is on this time, your appearance of all the peaceful deities with the called the Yishi Serta, is called the wisdom light, direct to from here to the Vajrasattva and Ashobhya and those, you know, peaceful deities. But Drukpa Pema Kapo said that light only can experience a person who have practicing the Tögyal. If you don't have a Tögyal teaching, Tögyal practice, I don't think so. Any ordinary people cannot see that kind of Yishi Serta connecting to the direct to the deity, the light. But this light, I think pretty much everyone can see this kind of like water tent, completely not of those 5-color light. And so at that time, actually, some may see the deity, some may not see the deity, but especially when you have this fearsome of the wrathful appearance, and you have to be ingrained as to be recognizing our own projection as a deity. So you have to recognize the appearance of the outside is your own projection. So if you look the text itself said, from ray, spear, and drop of light, arise a horde of wrathful beings. So it didn't say like peaceful and you know, wrathful, like 100 wrathful peaceful particularly. So what it means, they said generally Bardo beings, they don't see that particular of the deity as a peaceful and wrathful deities. They just see a wrathful, fearsome, some of them chasing after them, which are arising from those light. So that is just a regular, non-practitioner beings have that kind of experience. Then of course, then somebody who have a practitioner who know the wrathful and peaceful, then they can have that deity appearance. So that way here didn't say deity, they said wrathful beings. Wrathful being mean it's just not necessarily they see as a deity, because sometimes we think, immediately think that in the Bardo everyone will see the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. That way here didn't say peaceful, wrathful deities. It just said wrathful beings. I think, and those beings so fearsome. They're telling you, kill you, slaughter, and making you chase after you to try to harm you, basically. So all the wrathful being appearance from there. At that time, what you have to do is then you have to recognizing all the outer appearance of whatever it is, a good or bad, is my own projection. Then those fearsome who arising from those in the Bardo, from the ray of light, they become also deity too. So that is how recognizing as a fearsome as a deity. So that way earlier I said most of people cannot see as a deity. They just see all the fearsome of beings chasing after them. Okay, now here said, from the desire, aversion, and ignorance, white, red, and black vertiginous, how to say, or base appearance. When we are panic totally at the idea of falling into them, grant us the grace to recognizing the beauty of our own projections. So this one is then they appear in this kind of three lights. A white one, red one, and black one. So those are white as a symbol, what called upright, white appearance because of the desire, red appearance because of the aversion, and black appearance because of the ignorance. That those light is a kind of light to reborn in the three lower realms. From the white light to reborn in the hungry ghost, from the red light to reborn in the hell realm, from the black light to reborn in the animal realms. So then at that time, and what we have to do, so grant us to be grace to recognize the beauty of our own projections. So this one, from this state, in the Hinayana teachings, in the like Abhidhamma, by Vasubandhu's Abhidhamma, and from those teachings said actually no returnable. Now so there's no other way. You cannot change that Bardo's form. Whatever you form to next life, you will definitely born there. And the Mahayana Abhidhamma, he said, it's not really returnable from there, but someone who really meet with a strong condition have chance to can be changed the next birth. And in the Vajrayana, somebody who practice in the day, generation stage, night as a dream yoga, and they have a good chance to, change the direction of their rebirth from that Bardo realm. From there, actually have a good chance to your own direction can change. So this is like a have good practice, good practitioner, but who are not really liberated from the Dharmakaya or Sambhogakaya Bardo, but it's still because of their practice and they have good, because of the practice and the skill, they still have chance to, change the direction of the rebirth. So how to change the rebirth is that kind of fearsome, and you taking from the recognizing the purity of our own projection. So then I think they have a better chance to rebirth from the our practice. So this one, they said, like in the dream, when you have a scary dream, nightmare, and at that time you're taking refuge, or when you are in the dream, sometimes you will fall down. At that time, you are kind of rely on the, three jewels and things like that. Then I actually have good chance to liberate it from Bardo too, because you will perform same way in the Bardo.
One question.
Yes.
From the white, red, black, dizzying lights to this, where you have the abysses, is that a continuity? I mean, is it a continuation from the white light transforming into a white abyss, the black light transforming into a black abyss?
Yeah, so that kind of like sometimes you see that like kind of like falling down. It's like a whitish one, a red one, black one. It's not transformed. It's just it itself is look like that. Yeah. Okay, so now it's called five purity of a path. So this five purity of a path is there's a five color appearance. And those five color are next rebirth, path to the next rebirth. So we have to practice through the purification to blockage of those all five rebirth to reborn in the pure land. So there's a five color. It said the body is taking form according to the place of the birth. So this is a first one is in the Bardo. After the 3.5 days, they start changing the body shape. Slowly. I don't think so 100% change, but slowly, more your attitude, more your behavior, everything becoming closer to the next life. And the physical body too, kind of slowly changing. So that way, body taking from the according to the place of the birth. So where you're going to born. Even you're dead as a human beings, that if you're going to born to the dog, and they slowly kind of like becoming like act like a dog, and slowly maybe like more like a dog. So this change comes. And that time also there's a white, red, yellow, blue, black light appearance. So those light are to path to the reborn in the five realms: God realm, human realm, animal realm, hungry ghost realm, and hell realms. So like white as a God realm, red as a human realm, yellow as a hungry ghost realm, and blue as a animal realm, and yellow as a animal realm, blue as a hungry ghost, and dark as a hell. So those called the five path. So purity of the five path mean when you see your next rebirth of those, then you're taking refuge. You're praying to the deity to try to, change into the direction of your birth from those five realms to Pure Land. I think that way, this is called the purity of the five path. So that I think last time path, five path of the enlightenment, but I think it's better used as a purity of the 5 paths. Mean those 5 paths are purifying to bring to the blocking those 5 paths of the color to reborn in the pure realm by you know, supplication or so this one is a those all, I think this all everything can do. We have to prepare now. If we not prepare any of those, and we think maybe I will do Bardo, maybe my guru will protect me from the Bardo or this and that, I don't think so that's possible. You know, even guru is capable to do that one. If the Bardo being is not really, you know, what called the qualified to receive those instruction, I'm not sure even guru can do. You know, so that reason we said qualified teacher and qualified student, both need quality. So same thing is you can get help from the Bardo, from your guru, from deity, from 3 jewels. I think everybody can get that one, but can you receive or not? Are you capable to can receive those or help or not? This is really difficult to say. So that way, this one is it. You have to always constantly try to train. You know, constantly try to think as a Pure Land reborn. So that way we do lots of Pure Land reborn in the Pure Land prayer. The more we do and become more familiar, then we will do them whenever we really need. So at that time, really need to make sure, you know, purifying those 5 paths to reborn in the Pure Land.
Just want to double check because before you said that the light for Trilorium is the white is the ghost, the rest is the hell, and the black is the animal. But when we go through the 5 light,
Yeah.
so we still have the yellow and the blue. So the yellow is the which one? The human or how?
So this is a different. One is a not light. One is a see as a clip or what called? Obese, huge obese, kind of like a whitish obese, kind of reddish obese, what is kind of a blackish obese. Yeah. That one is a 3 low realms, kind of reborn in it. You're going to fall down to the 3 low realms. That way, this color is different. But this one is you see the 5 path, actually, kind of like walking path.
I see.
So that is a little bit different. So that way, I think this is, you know, the color and rebirth is you don't have to compare to the on the top one is here because those 2 are different. One is a obey, one is a really path.
I see. Okay. So okay, can you explain again? Like the white is the red is for the God.
No, white is a god.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
The
red is a human. Yellow is an animal, and blue is a hungry ghost, and black is a hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just path. Okay, top one is a this is kind of your own emotion as an appearance as a obey, huge obey. Those are attachment, hatred, and ignorance. So there, I think this is a little bit different. Yeah.
I see.
Obey. Obese. Okay. So then when you're going to from the path of the light, if you're going to born in the God realm, then also all the human realm and other is you will see this sign. Like it said, if we see celestial palace, I think should be celestial palace and God children flocking, how to say flocking joyful?
Frolicking.
Okay, frolicking joyful. So that is two different. Celestial palace, if you see celestial palace, when you have an attachment or aversion or that kind of emotion comes, then you will reborn in the form realms, celestial palace. But if you see the God, male and female, with the sexual union, there's different type of sexual union they see. When you see that one and you have an emotion, you will reborn in the desire realms, like a 33 God realm, so above there's a 6 desire realms. Even they said, even your attachment, even you attach to the purulent of the like a Sukhavati, if you attach, only you reborn in the like a the form realm or desire realm, some or God realm. Why? Because it's involved with the attachment. So by seeing of the celestial palace not going to reborn in the not going to reborn in the that God realms, but when you attach on that, when you have that emotion, then you will reborn. That, huh?
The actual seeing of it does not.
No, actually seeing alone cannot be born there. So that way, same as a Devachan Shinga. If you have a devotion, you have a faith, and through that too, you can be reborn in the Devachan Shinga. But if you have an attachment, because of that attachment, cannot born in the Devachan, so that way only can born the God realm or something. Yeah. So then that is a God realms. Then human, there's have a 4 continent: east, south, west, north. So if you going to born in the if you born in, if you want to, you see the lake, beautiful lake, and with a island and lake with the what call this zone, and you attach on that, you will be reborn in the what called east continent. And if you see island adorned with the many cows, then you will see can be attached to that one. You are born in the west continent. If you see the horse, the island is adorned with the many horses, then you see you can be born to the northern islands, or you see the or you beautiful mansion with a parent in union. So then when you see your parent union, and at that time you have attachment and aversions. Basically, we say is we conceive in the womb to those 2 emotions, attachment, aversions. So said, if you're going to be reborn in the girl, you have attached to the father and aversion to the mother. If you're going to be reborn in the boy, you have attachment to the mother, aversion to the father. Because of those emotions, then your consciousness with the mixed together with the semen and substance. Yeah, can say that is how you become pregnant in the Buddhism saying. So that way, when you have that attachment and aversion, so then you will born to the human realm. So this is a God realm and a human realm. So what you have to do is how to protect from those rebirth is grant us the grace to be free from attachment and aversion or jealousy. So those emotions can be reborn as to those emotions can hold us to in the samsara basically. So that way, if you have an attachment, even you have a Devachan attached to the Devachan Shinga, you cannot born there.
So with the father and the mother in embrace, is that at the time of insemination? Because if it is, then it presents a problem for modern thinkers because we have artificial insemination.
So as long as it's this dissemination is a gathering together, whatever, you know, I think that one.
But with artificial insemination, you have a petri dish, and you have a syringe. You don't have a mother and a father at the time of insemination.
Yeah, but that's have to come from the father and mother. Yeah, so I don't know. He asked me a complicated question, but which is I cannot give an answer because that's true, you know. So this last one said, beautiful mention with the parent in union. So actually, if you're dividing this way, if you see the island with the swan, if you see the island with a horse, if you see the island with the what called the magnificent bulls, and or you see the island with the with the mansion in mansion. Those are 4 continents. Swan as a east, mansion as a south, bull as a north and west, and the horse as a north. I think so, something like that. Maybe. And this parent union, as they said, Kunji Pema Kappa said, you have to share all of them in that particular place if you see the parent union, because most of those areas are birthed from the womb. So this is parent union, is in the God realm or human realm, you see is based on the womb birth. Make sense? But of course, there's a human. Some human are miracle births. Some human are born from the heat. Some human are born of different eggs. There are some stories. So that is a different. Like a Pema Sambhawa, I don't think so. Have to have that kind of same experiment of the attachment of the parent, because he was born with the lotus. So like Arya, they were also born from the lotus. So they are not really womb birth. So this is basically talking about the parent seeing is based on the womb birth. So there are also parent seeing, some saying is just seeing parent itself. Some saying is see the parents private part. I don't know to this, then I don't know what to say. These days there's a scientist creating just using the substance to create the lab human being. Yeah. So I don't know those are including or not. So how it work, those are mystery. So, but most of womb birth. So that's why I'm not sure lab birth is same as according to the womb birth. So I don't know. But this is talking about the majority who are born from the womb. That is and it doesn't matter we're going to born to the east, west, south, north, or Garam. Long as you are born from the womb, you have to see the parent. When you say that from the see the parent, and you have those emotion of attachment, aversion, jealousy, those things. Then from that emotion to hold the element and consciousness together. So that reason we said source of samsara is attachment. So if you don't have that attachment, you don't have to stay in the samsara. So why we have this body, we carry on this body because of the attachment. That element is we hold us with us because of the attachment. The person practitioner, when they're free from attachment, they no longer have the physical body like us. Make sense? That's called the wisdom body, illusion body. So this is a last part of the with the parent in union is have to put all of them, not just only in the mansion, everywhere. I think have to including in the island with a swan, island with a bull, island with a horse, all 4 islands. I think part of that, because all of them generally born from the womb. Okay, so we stop here, and Tuesday, please, if you have a question or a comment, we can go through Tuesday, because now it's not much, it's easier, so we can go fast that part. So, and so this actually, you know, how to protect us from those birds of the womb is coming later so we can talk on the Tuesday. So, okay, thank you so much, Ms. Ngok, and thank you, everyone. Okay. Chan Chu Sem Joy Rinpoche Man Je Pa Nai Je Joy Je Je Bai Nyam Bai Mem Bai Ya Kone Kondo Pe Wai Sho Tata Konde Tham Je Je Tu Sondo Sabada Yebe Jeve Zawad Tata Senje Tanje Nyundo Lana Mamba Yanda Bazo Be Janju Ramboje Topra Joje Shija Kunse Kunjin Chujeje Tende Nela Wando Tekumba Renje Beje Tembasil Shetu Tosan Gomben Zenjuroje Kingurushe Dia Tashi Nya Tashi Pemba Talala Sea Tashi Pemba Kelele Nizenda to Tashi Tele Tashi Pemba Zalinje Ngari Jenga Pegi Zambulingi Shinga so Chotu Yuki Tamba Tawadan Zalin Dewe Tashi Zambulin Devra Zedo Su Zaya Zaya Su Zaya.